Hi everyone, my name is Leah Boggs, clinical nutrition intern at the Maryland University of Integrative Health located in Laurel, Maryland. MUIH focuses on the functional or integrative approach towards nutrition, which means as a nutritionist, we focus on finding the root causes of imbalances in the body and use whole nutrient-dense foods to address those imbalances. In this video, I will be discussing, giving an overview of macro and micronutrients. Nutrients can be classified into two major categories based on how much is required from the diet or food sources. Macronutrients, as it sounds, are needed in large amounts, typically 1 gram per day of that nutrient, which there are four. Micronutrients are needed in small quantities, and typically the units are in milligrams or micrograms. The first major macronutrient is water. It's essential to all life, and as humans, we are 60% made up of water. Water is a value because it regulates our body temperature as well as it protects our organs. Those are two essential things that water does for us. The second macronutrient is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are essentially sugars. They can be further broken down into two major categories: simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates are either one molecule of sugar or two molecules of sugar. And those would be your monosaccharides, meaning one, or your disaccharides, meaning two molecules of sugar binded together. An example of a monosaccharide would be your glucose, your fructose, and your galactose. Those are common types of sugars. Glucose is found in your blood. Fructose is the sugar found in vegetables and fruit. And galactose is the sugar found in milk or dairy products. Disaccharides are, again, two molecules of sugar binded together. Examples of those are your sucrose, maltose, and lactose. Moving on to the third macronutrient is your protein. Proteins are important for your muscles and for the energy that we need to sort of move around, and they regulate many bodily functions. Proteins are made up of a string of amino acids, and we all know that amino acids are important in terms of our daily functioning. They can be further broken down into two categories: plant-based proteins and animal-based proteins. An example of animal-based proteins are legumes, and an example of plant-based proteins are legumes or beans, and animal-based proteins are those proteins that come from your meats, your fowl, fish, those sort of animal-based sources. They can also be broken down into either complete or incomplete sources of protein. A complete protein is one that contains an adequate amount of essential amino acids, and an incomplete protein is one that contains a low amount of the essential amino acids. Moving on to lipids, which is the final category of a macronutrient. Lipids are broken down into two categories: fat or an oil, and lipids are fats are lipids that are solid at room temperature, and oils are lipids that are liquid at room temperature. There are also major examples of lipids are your fatty acids, which are your omega-3, 6, and 9, your triglycerides, and your fat-soluble vitamins, which I will get into a little later. Your fat-soluble vitamins are also sort of hydrophobic, which means they don't react well with water. So your fat macronutrients don't react well or combine well with water. Some other nutrients that you may have heard of are phytonutrients, which are nutrients that are found in plants and which are vegetables and fruits. Those are the ones that you want to taste the rainbow, as they say. They are colorful plant-based nutrients. And a last category of the other nutrients are zoonutrients, which are nutrients that are found in animal-based macronutrients, or animal-based macronutrients. And lastly, another type of carbohydrate are your dietary fiber, which is your soluble fiber and your insoluble fiber. So moving on to micronutrients. Micronutrients are, as they sound, micro, and they're only needed in small amounts for the body, which tells you they are packed full of nutrients, because we get them in small amounts, but they do a lot for the body. They're classified into two categories: vitamins and minerals. Vitamins are classified as vitamins for two main reasons. Basically, they are essential to the body is one reason, and secondly, the body does not make vitamins. So, for example, vitamin D, although it's called a vitamin, is technically not a vitamin. It's more like a hormone, because our body does make vitamin D. When the sun reacts with our skin, it goes through a complex interaction, but it does make vitamin D. So vitamin D, although we call it that, is more like a hormone. There are other types of vitamins, vitamin categories, that being fat-soluble and water-soluble vitamins. The fat-soluble vitamins are A, D, and K, and the water-soluble vitamins are the 8B vitamins and vitamin C. Moving on to minerals. Minerals are those found on the periodic table. They are also needed in small amounts, which again means they are packed full of value for our body. They are in small amounts, but they are powerful tools for us to use in the body. Major minerals are calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, and sodium and chloride. An example, magnesium is important for the regulation of your blood pressure. It also stabilizes sodium in the body. It also helps with cramping, as well as calcium. Together, magnesium and calcium work well together. And then other examples of minerals are zinc and chromium, and manganese and iron. So those are all examples of minerals that we use for the body. So essentially, in eating the macronutrients that we get, we use those macronutrients to provide micronutrients in food sources. I hope this video helps to support you in your learning, and thank you for listening.